Hey everybody, so I have a NPE case for you today, and for those who don't know, NPE basically means an unknown parent. You don't know who your biological parent is, and so our client came to us not knowing who her biological father was, and that is who she wanted us to identify. So welcome back to Client Stories with Amy. A little background is she was born in 1974 in Colorado, and I don't feel like we get very many cases from Colorado. So she just wanted to know who her biological father was. She asked her mom multiple times, and her mom was adamant, I don't know who he is. I don't know why you keep asking. What does it matter? Wasn't I good enough for you? All of those things. And so our client just kind of left it alone. Her mom passed away last year, and she wanted to revisit the situation, and she decided to do a DNA test and waited for those results to come in. And she thought for sure those DNA tests were going to give her biological father's name just like that, and it doesn't work that way, guys. She said looking at the DNA matches, yes, they had names there, but it was like a foreign language to her. She didn't know what the numbers meant. It had all different like segments on there and CMs, and she didn't know what any of that meant to her. So she Googled how to find a biological parent and Googled all different kinds of terms, and she found DNA Angels and looked us up and gave us a try. She was very optimistic because, like I said, she said it was like foreign language looking at those DNA matches. So coming to us, she wasn't sure if we could help her, and she was like, if you find them, great. If you don't, not a big deal. I understand. I went this whole entire time not knowing, so it is what it is. But do your best, and if it happens, it happens. We got the DNA matches, and she had great matches. We had her solved in about 4 hours. We had the matches mapped. We had the most recent common ancestor identified, and we were able to find that grandparent line really, really quickly. Most of the work on her tree was literally just filling in her tree and finding records to attach it to the tree. We literally had the biological father line pretty quickly. This grandparents line was actually from Vermont, and that is another place I feel like we don't get a lot of cases from. And so we were able to try to look at the children's line of that grandparent line and see if anybody was in Colorado. And lucky for us, there was one boy that was. This gentleman, according to his obituary, was labeled as a free spirit, and I guess you would have to be to end up from Vermont into Colorado, and he was actually all over the place. His final resting place was actually in Washington State, but he spent a lot of time in California, in Arizona, in Texas, in Oklahoma, in Iowa. He was literally all over the place, and so I feel like that obituary, calling him a free spirit just based on the records I found, was spot on. He didn't have any known children, but he had some siblings that were still alive, and so our client contacted her full auntie, and the full auntie was like, oh my goodness, you, I hope, are a piece of my brother. I want to make sure you're not a scam or anything, but you could be a piece of our brother that we have lost. We've missed him so much. Will welcome you to the family, but just we want to make sure like this is legitimate. No shade to you or to the people that helped you. We just want to be sure before we accept you into our family. And so they did a DNA test, and it came back 2.5 days, 3 days later, and it proved that she was, in fact, her niece. And so they opened her to their home with open arms. It actually took 4 weeks for them to meet. A short 4 weeks. They got that DNA test in 3 days, and they were immediately trying to figure out how to meet. And so our client ended up flying to Vermont to go meet her biological father's family. She said that she felt like as soon as she walked through the door, she was home, is the words that she used, which was super heartwarming for us because we know that doesn't always happen. So yeah, that was a happy story for you guys today. Don't forget to hit like, follow, and share. And if you are in need of our services, our link is in our link tree. Come check us out, and we're happy to help you. Bye, guys.